In 1 Peter 3, what does it mean that Jesus went in the Spirit and proclaimed to spirits in prison? Some take this to refer to Christ's descent into hell. As the Apostles' Creed says, he descended into hell. Others take this to mean that Jesus preached through Noah via the Holy Spirit. They take Spirit here to be referring to the Holy Spirit, in which or by that Spirit, Jesus went and proclaimed to spirits in prison, maybe those who were alive during the time of Noah who have now died. But I think there's a better way to understand this passage. Notice the sequence in Peter's thought. First, Christ suffered once for sin, or as he says later, he was put to death in the flesh. Next, he was made alive, and this word is used elsewhere to refer to resurrection. It's in this resurrected state, animated by the Holy Spirit, in which he went and proclaimed to spirits now in prison. And this word went is the exact same form that Peter uses later in verse 22, where he clearly is referring to his ascension, again after his resurrection. In other words, after this aside in verses 20 and 22, where Peter talks about the days of Noah, he picks up where he left off, bringing up resurrection and ascension once again. And in both cases, he is referring to fallen angels who have rebelled. Here, they're described as spirits in prison. In verse 22, he uses the language angels, authorities, and powers, which is common New Testament language for angelic beings. This passage then links up with Jude and 2 Peter, which, along with 1 Enoch, interprets Genesis 6 as referring to fallen angels who transgress their boundaries. In other words, Peter is saying that after his resurrection, Christ ascended, and in his act of ascending, he proclaimed his victory over those rebellious spirits. Be sure to check out my full What in the Word episode with Thomas Schreiner, where we discuss these things in further depth, and follow along for more in-depth Bible study content.